Okay, hi Dino, how are you?
Douglas, hi. How you doing?
Doing
Good
good.
to meet you.
Thank you for coming on the show. Nice to see you. Happy to have you
Great to be on
here.
the show. Thank you.
So you are in the health and beauty industry, I think. Is that
Yes,
accurate?
yeah,
Okay, specifically hair
yes.
loss. And
Specifically hair loss. Yes,
right, now that's like a multi-billion dollar industry, isn't it?
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. How did you get involved with this? Was this a personal thing for you?
It became a personal thing, but as I was 18 years old, when I was 18 years old, I really went to school for hair and I became a licensed hairdresser. And then immediately I got involved with not just doing hair, but also doing any form of hair loss or hair replacement. And then I started studying hair replacement. And then eventually, as the years went by, then I lost my hair. So you might say me losing my hair intensified it.
Well, there was that famous commercial, as I'm old enough to remember, a guy named Cy Sperling,
Sure.
Hair Club, and he says, not
Yes.
only am I the president, I'm also a client. So, are you a testimonial to the product that you've got?
I am. I'm a testimonial.
Okay,
Yes.
well, it looks good. I mean, it doesn't,
Thanks. Thanks.
and it's
Yeah.
this is not actually like a toupee or anything. These are actually, what is it, implants? Or explain what the process
No,
is.
it's something that's non-surgical. All right. So non-surgical allows you to add hair in between your own existing hair. And actually, even though I'm a client, the majority of our clients are more women because I invented a revolutionary way of adding hair in between the existing hair, if that makes sense.
Yeah, how do you add it though? I mean, it doesn't go in
Yeah,
the scalp.
it does go in the scalp. So I invented something called a micro strand. And in layman's terms, a micro strand is these thin threads that look and feel like a human hair. So imagine threads that look and feel like a human hair, and they're networked together, making sort of a web with diamond openings. And then I use a microscopic tip apparatus to feed one human hair at a time onto those threads. The finished product then becomes looking like it's single human hair spread apart, just floating in the air. And now you have this open web, if you will, and that is blended between the client's hair. So the client's hair is coming through it. So when you blend it between the client's hair, then it lays on the scalp. What happens is you don't see that microstrand. It just looks like additional single hairs just growing out of the scalp.
Is there a specific maintenance that you have to do for this? Or, I mean, you can't just go to a regular hair cutter and have them cut you, right? You have to.
Right, yeah. So it's each one of these are custom made for each individual. And then maintenance wise, there's different options. There's an option where they can come to our hair studio and we could attach it and then it gets reattached. A minor visit, like an hour visit. Very similar to coloring your hair. You color your hair, it's permitted, but you got to get a touch up once a month. So that's one way. They come to our hair studio once a month to get a minor touch up once a month. The second way, which is even a little bit more popular, is there's a way of self attaching it. And the reason why I made it available to self attach it is to reach out to the public internationally. So no matter where you're at in the world, it's something that you can get ordered for yourself and customized for yourself. And then we give the person a video showing them how they can apply it and maintain it themselves. Now, if they apply it and maintain it themselves, it also means they can have a friend or relative do it, or they can have any hairdresser do it. So there's those two ways.
Oh, so this can be removed then.
It can be. So let's say that I don't know, we got on the phone a video call with somebody in another country, Ireland. So we would customize it for that person. We would ship it to them with a video showing them how to apply it. They can keep it on for a month, showers, swimming, everything. Okay. or they can remove it whenever they want, if they wanted to, but they can keep it on.
Okay. Well, how strong is it? Because again, I'm going back to that old 70s thing where the wind blows and the toupee flies off.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
is this it's on there good, right? You can
Well, it's on there
swim.
so good,
Yeah.
you could skydive with it. You could skydive into a pool or an ocean. I think your head would come off first before it would remove. So
Oh,
no, it's
okay.
on. You could pull it, and here's the other thing. Think of this. It's not just like what they call a hair unit, all right? Because it's this open web. When your hair is blended through it, if somebody grabbed a fist of your hair and pulled you, they'd be pulling part of your hair and part of the integrated hair. So you can't pull it off, even if you tried.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how did you come up with this? I mean, I know I don't want to give away trade secrets, but
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean, were you in a lab actually doing this, or well, how did you come up with this?
What happened was that even though I was doing all of the existing methods that existed in the industry and making people happy, what I found out is all the existing methods caused additional hair loss. Okay.
Oh,
So
all right.
my driving force was then to add hair in a way that used the existing hair and that kept the existing hair safe. That was my driving force. So then what I did is I said, there's got to be a way of adding hair in between the existing hair, not on top. See, all the other methods were adding hair on top, like the size Sperling thing. They shave the existing hair. Now, when you're losing your hair, every single hair in your head is precious to you. You've even got eight
True.
hairs, okay?
Yeah,
You're counting them.
it's true.
So to shave off any of the existing hairs, it's very upsetting. Even though people would do it because they felt like they had no other option, very upsetting. Then they got tricky, the industry, and they said, we won't shave it. So they just cover it. So if they cover it, think of this, covering is smothering. If they cover it, it causes and speeds up the loss of the existing hair. See that point?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. And
So, yeah, and all these methods, even if they tied it down, all these different methods, they didn't really care about the existing hair. So in my mind, I said, we need to keep the existing hair safe and add more hair while keeping these existing hair safe.
okay,
Does that
so
make sense?
yeah, yeah, it makes perfect sense. But your product wouldn't necessarily be appropriate for somebody who was completely bald because there's nothing to attach it to, right?
Right. No, it would be.
Oh, it
So
would.
here's the other thing. This product happens to be the only product that's been called a cure-all. What I mean by that, all other methods, like I mentioned, hair extensions, that's for a certain group of hair problems. Hair systems for a certain group of hair problems. So each method is for just very specific groups of hair problems. This method is the only method, one method for anyone, no matter what their hair problem is. So in reference to someone being completely bald, let's say somebody didn't have one hair on their whole head. The microstrands are designed in different size openings. They have little diamond openings by millimeter size openings. So there might be a 20 millimeter opening all the way down to a 1 millimeter opening. Now, I'm an example of somebody that is bald on the top. So I have a 1 millimeter opening. A 1 millimeter opening is only for a bald area, whether the area is just your hairline, the top of your head, or your whole head. All right. Now, the way it stays on, it's two steps to staying on. Because the threads of the microstrand are so soft, they contour to the head like another piece of skin. And that holds about 50 to 60% of it just by how it's contoured to the head. And the rest on a bald area, this is only a bald area, there's something called the locking tape that goes in spots around some of the perimeter, and it locks it on the rest of the way, where then you can, or I can, dive in the water, submerge in the water, swim, shower, have somebody pull my hair, and it doesn't move. So that's for a bald area.
We've got just a couple minutes left, and I want to just mention your book. You've got 2 books, Stop Additional Hair Loss and Limitless Hair Attraction, right?
Right.
Okay, so the book basically explains the process. Is that the idea of the book?
Part of it. What the purpose of the book is, the Stop Additional Hair Loss. The purpose of the book is to notify and educate the public about being aware of adding hair and causing additional hair loss. Even most of the industry knows that, but it's to make them aware of that. Secondly, it's also to teach them about this advanced technology with the microstrand invention. And then next, it's even gives steps on proper ways on how to deal with your hair loss so it doesn't become as upsetting.
You mean psychologically deal with it?
Even psychologically, I put exercises in there on how to deal with your hair loss in a more positive way and have solutions for it, yes.
Okay. Well, it all sounds really interesting. I don't know if, do you want to give an idea of the cost of this? I know it's going to depend on how much hair somebody would have to have.
How much hair, yeah.
Yeah, but just
so
like a range, a price range.
Yes. So think of this. It goes mostly by the size of the area. So let's say you had a guy or a lady and they just had little bird's nests, like a 2x3 area in the background. That might only cost about $800. And let's go with somebody that has maybe a large area on the top. That might be $1,500 to $2,500. And let's go with somebody that needs hair everywhere on the entire head. That might go somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000. So you see how it depends on the size of the area mostly.
So it's by the square meter.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. Well, really we measure front to back, left to right.
Okay.
All right. And then let's say mine is front to back 8, left to right 7. 8 times 7 is 56. We run our finger down a price column, show the client, say, for this size, it's this price. So it's flexible. Because we run into people that go, oh, that's too much money. And we go, no problem, we'll fill in a smaller area. Because with this, you have flexibility to fill in smaller areas, larger areas, and between areas.
Well, actually, I thought the prices were pretty reasonable. I was figuring you were going to start out at $5,000 and go right up to 10 or 15.
Yeah, so it's flexible. Yeah, it's very flexible.
So for somebody like Bruce Willis, that would be like a $5,000 process probably, yeah?
Well, not really. Bruce Willis is similar to me. My top area is thin. So it would probably be somewhere between $2,500 and $3,000.
Okay, I think he shaves. He shaves his head anyways.
Yeah. But when you shave, you could still grow your hair back on the sides and just fill in the top. You see what I mean? And that's what and that's what many of our clients have done that have shaved. They shave because they don't want it to look like a voided area, which is smart. It looks better. Cut down very short, your sides are shaved. But then if you add more hair on top, you want to grow your hair on the sides and just add the same volume, a balanced volume.
Well, Dino, we got to wind this down. Thank you so much for coming on. Do you have a website you want to give out?
Sure. So the website is InvisaBlend.com, spelled InvisaBlend.com.
Okay, and there's information on all of this as well as any links to get your book?
Sure. Yeah, not only that, there's many videos. Like on YouTube, I have about 500 videos because I'm heavily into educating the client in every step. So on that website, there won't be 500 videos, but there'll be a lot of videos so people can actually see with their own eyes how every step is done.
Oh, great. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was nice meeting you. Nice talking.